So agendalessness of inquiry was the topic that we were exploring. So when we put an agenda, put a point to be proved in the path of exploration, before the exploration is complete or ongoing, before it's actually happening, if we bring that point of reaching the exploration beforehand, that actually fragments the natural movement of exploration, because it is pre-directed. It becomes a pre-directed exploration, and the complete exploration, the free movement that was supposed to be there in the process of exploration gets blocked. So that is the blockage of intentionally sketched agenda in the process of exploration. Are you able to comprehend this fragmented natural movement when we bring an intentional sketched agenda? Shanta hasn't joined. Renuka is joining. Yes.
So
yes,
if we look at this with the same example of, say, meeting someone without an agenda, and then figuring that there could be a common thing to look at. If we look at, say, if we were meeting somebody with the agenda, that maybe this person
yes.
may be wanting to and may have the capability to do that or whatever, how would this fragment the natural movement?
Yes. So again, the same example that I'm meeting a person agendalessly. I don't have an agenda while communicating with that individual and meeting, conversing. Then by chance, I got to know about a skill, and I ended up using that skill or proposing that individual to collaborate and be a part of another journey where I might need that skill. Now, here, along with that, a lot of other things also got revealed. This is one example of a skill that we are discussing. But otherwise, also a lot of things which were touched in the process of agendaless communication. Are you able to comprehend this? The other points. Suppose I am with an agenda.
To know a lot of different things about that person.
Or a complete scenario, the complete, the holistic phenomena of the meeting will reveal a lot of things. Alongside that particular skill which got revealed by chance, and I'm just collaborating in terms of that skill. This is just one example of that revelation. But other many things are revealed which may not be collaborated as it is proposed here in this case, particular case of skill. Now, if I am having an agenda to look for a certain skill in a meeting, an interview board, suppose. An interview board, I'm looking for a particular skill and I'm meeting and conversing, interviewing that individual. Now that individual might be a great singer, which I'm not looking for. I'll absolutely discard that revelation, even if it is happening during the conversation, because I'm not looking for it.
I got it. So if we get to know about this person's or the situation's various aspects, I'm wondering how, what happens then?
With agenda?
Without an agenda.
Yes, without an agenda. So without an agenda, suppose that skill set which I was requiring for my business or any initiative. So if it is not coming out of the interaction or the communication or the conversation, nothing of that sort is coming out. Even then, if I'm continuing that agendaless conversation, lot of other things will reveal, and that may flower in different direction, which we don't know. Hypothetically, you have to imagine stories of those flowering of the things. But are you able to understand the difference between the psychological conditioning with an agenda and without an agenda in any conversation?
Yes, I completely am getting it. I'm trying to understand also, is it also proposed that then this is how a conversation goes, it also conserves energy?
Well, the conservation is by default when I'm agendaless. You see, the agendaless means you are absolutely freely looking at. Agenda means a pre-decided direction to your activity. An agenda, what is the meaning of an agenda? An agenda is pre-decided direction of any activity. That is what do you understand about this word agenda?
Yeah, pre-decided intention for that activity, that this is what I am looking for, that will happen.
This is where I am trying to reach. This is
And I
outcome.
want to reject everything else. When I have particular agenda,
yes,
my vision, my all the senses are blocked towards other aspects,
yes,
which may be there, and I'm totally blank, and I want to overlook them and reject them, and only my agenda is important in that case.
yes, and apart from that agenda being important, actually that cages my own energy and blocks my other perceptions. I don't see other beautiful things or other things. Let's not use any adjective also. Other things which are getting revealed in the pathway of exploration. Do you see the difference of energy? Both the cases. So we, in fact, since yesterday,
I want to really understand more on how the energy is getting trapped in this.
so let's come back to the understanding of agenda. Agenda is a prefixed goal of an activity.
So, in the normal conventional way, a lot of people might think that being agendaless is actually zapping energy, because it's taking more time, it's taking probably, more time mainly to actually, explore more than what my agenda was. So it actually comes across as this is the being agendaless actually
Innovating.
Yeah, is more innovating versus having an agenda.
Yes, yes, yes. So let's try and explore that proposal also, where it is proposed that being agendaless is an innervation. What is the idea behind it? The proposal where this is proposed that being agendaless is an innervation is having a proposal that having an agenda is mandatory for life. Having an agenda is mandatory for life. So that means a point of reaching to be considered the goal of life is the proposal. Now, if it is inquired further that after we reach there, what do we do?
go to another goal.
Do you see the bluffing here? We had been bluffing ourselves as the purpose of my life as this point, but after we reach there, we sketch another goal. And again, we start bluffing ourselves that this becomes your goal of life. Do I see this aspect of bluffing ourselves?
Yes.
So then the
Then
person
how-
is always planning and reflecting about the future. What to
and
do,
assuming
and
that that point
assuming.
of reaching is the fulfillment of life. And after one reaches there, it's get buffered. No, it's not yet reached. I have to sketch another goal. Do I see this? The actual bluffing the self. Forget about the proposal, whoever is proposing it. Why am I accepting it? Why am I believing in it? Without
The
questioning.
conditioning. It's the conditioning.
And that conditioning is done by me. You know, the instrument is here. The instrument is here. As nobody can.
I am conditioned in my childhood by the society. My mind has been conditioned by the society and parents and everybody.
So here, what we need to understand, ma'am, that whenever I'm getting conditioned, be it in my childhood or even in my adulthood, but in a condition of immaturity, I get conditioned. What I need to look at it is that who got conditioned is I only. This individual only got conditioned. Whatever the external condition, it could be, external situation, it could be. I may be a baby at that time, or I may be an immature person at that time. But I only got conditioned.
So what you're saying is that
can we
yeah. Sorry. No.
Can we look at this way? Like suppose a person who you started considering guru and started considering that he is an instrumental person to bring change in me. And that individual might have spoken to thousands of people. But you, one of few hundreds, got triggered. It's quite similar to the fan speed Shanta was mentioning, you know. So the guru's speech or preaching becomes a trigger for you, which you started considering as instrument. The instrument was inside you, be it an enlightenment or a disease or a confusion or a conditioning. Everywhere the instrument is here. Every other thing which is happening externally is incidental. Can I understand this phenomena? Without demeaning the self, without any sense of guilt or appreciation, if I can look at the fact of this phenomena, that whatever is happening, I am the instrument of that happening. That's a beginning of inquiry. That's a beginning of inquiry when we look at this fact. Otherwise, the life will carry on with the kind of blaming or with the kind of flattery of the guru. Blaming the situation or flattering the guru. We will not take the identification of instrument, which is this existence. For my happening, whatever is happening to me, this existence is the instrument. Yes, Shilpi, you are saying something.
I was saying that, so what we are saying is that, that when I don't have an agenda, then, or when I have an agenda, then at an overall level, while it seems like in parts I'm saving energy because I'm only getting as much information or whatever, getting into a situation to that extent, at an overall level, because of having this preset agenda in me in every situation or every other situation, I am ending up, expending a lot more energy than what I would do if I naturally let it progress, every interaction. Is that what you're saying?
Might be. So the action is not an assurance in case of inquiry. That's one thing. Like we might start thinking that if I am leading an inquiring life, then a lot of actions will overflow. It might not happen. It might happen also. But inquiry is a space of higher energy. That mathematics is a fact. Because when we have an agenda, that time I'm actually focusing on the agenda, and actually the things that are happening, the focus doesn't go there because of this capturing of the focus with the agenda. And this capturing of the focus is that loop of energy that I'm zapped with.
Kalyanji, in our daily life, we have to keep certain agendas, at home front,
Yes.
and in the work front.
Yes, yes.
You are given by you're given the agendas to be fulfilled, by your boss, or at home you have to do certain,
Yes, yes, yes,
certain
yes.
agendas.
So the
you
point
have
of
to fulfill.
interaction, yes, complete your proposal. Then I'll
Yeah,
begin.
so actually the ideal situation I understand is agendaless. It feels holistic and more, I mean, it's natural and it is more like complete and holistic thing. But we have to work with agendas in our day-to-day life.
Yes.
So how would we balance
yes,
that?
Yes, yes. So here actually we need to understand that the interaction with the external world is absolutely P1 level. And the agenda that we are talking about is in P2 level. The prefixed agenda at the sensational level is the agenda that we are talking about. Now, action-wise, whatever you are achieving or not achieving, that's a secondary issue in terms of the sensation. Now, let me give you some example. So you are in a sales company, like you are in a sales job, suppose, and you have, which in every job these days, but sales jobs are primarily are given with a target that you have to achieve this number by end of this month, by end of this year, quarter, whatsoever. Now, that particular task is an action that is given to you, and that action needs energy. If you understand this mathematics, that if I have ample energy, I might be able to achieve this target. Because there is a direct correlation of action with energy, if I understand this mathematics. Now, if I become obsessive about that target, to achieve or not to achieve, both the ways, that is a P2 domain, sensational domain, which cannot be sensed by anyone else other than me. Are you able to understand this difference of the agenda? You know, so suppose
saying
the
it's only
levels,
about
level difference is there.
yes,
One is at the physical level only.
yes,
And in that, we are fulfilling the agendas, doing the things. But what you're saying, it should not go to the physiological level of being obsessive about fulfilling those agendas and or not, or anti to those agendas. Means
yeah. So I'm
we are
not
not
saying that it should
getting into
not
the.
go. I'm not saying that it should not go. If it is going, am I able to look at it or not? That's the question. If it is going there, then it was undue actually. Because the company did not ask you to become obsessive. Whatsoever, if somebody is asking, irrationally asking, but a rational proposal will never ask you to become obsessive about it. And another aspect, if suppose the company is very much hardcore sales oriented company, then also if they understand this mathematics, that if the individual becomes obsessive, then he will be less productive. So a company's ideal goal will be not to make the individual obsessed about, but perform. Without being obsessed, the performance will be more if we understand this mathematics of energy. Unfortunately, the company is operating.
Performance in that particular agenda may be more because of that
Maybe.
obsession. So from
Yes,
the
yes,
company's
yes.
angle,
I understand, but
you know,
yeah,
from
yeah.
the
Please, ma'am, go on.
company's point of view, but if you see at the total level, for the person level and energy level, then what you are
Yes.
saying is,
So slowly and gradually, the labor force is being termed as human resource, as you see. So companies also started seeing holistically the labor force as human resource. So if the company is pushing the workers to become obsessive about the target, then eventually in progressive months, the individual will be down with the low energy and the consistency of the performance cannot be maintained. If they understand this whole phenomena of the energy linked with the performance and action, they may have a low achieved target at the beginning or in few months, but there is a consistency in performance if they have optimally conserved energy. So that way, if we can look at it, then that obsession can be understood somewhat. Hi, Renuka.
Hi, Kalyan. Yeah, I just
Had a nap?
No, long sleep. I will
A
say.
long sleep. It's not a nap.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I've been listening to this conversation.
Yes.
Just joined in. But isn't this agenda what we are going through? Like maybe it is, but it's a broad agenda that we are following since yesterday. So these are not open conversations that we are bringing in different aspects, but still there's an agenda.
Yes, let's figure it out. Let's figure it out and inquire if there is an agenda that we are setting here.
If we don't have an agenda, won't we get all scattered? Rather, like going deeper into the thing, we'll get scattered, is what was coming to me.
Yes, so here what you are talking about, the sort of loose planning. If suppose, in fact, in our this RFP program, there was a question on, I think, Wednesday or Thursday, that if I can give the topic-wise time of this workshop, then one can join to the session with respective topic. So I responded, if you remember, Shilpi Bingal, that it's not yet sketched. So in fact, on Saturday morning, these topics got finalized and shared. So now, yes, there are topics that got sketched here. These are the agenda. That way, for a bystander who is looking from outside, will say, yes, yes, these are the topics. These are the agendas of this workshop. But while writing this also, I was questioning myself that are these the agendas of this workshop? So how to confirm whether it is an agenda or a loosely structured? When some topics are missed, suppose, even the gap, you see, between the impact of conflicts and suppression of conflicts, this gap was created this morning, because I was not sure that how far the first day will reach. How far the first day will reach, and then what topics. So, and still now, I'm not sure whether all the topics will be covered or not. And I'm absolutely okay with it. Ultimately, what we take away is an understanding, and this understanding is absolutely customized for everyone. No agenda can be fulfilled there. So these topics, if are considered as an agenda, this is just physical in nature, very much tentative. And there is no continuation of the sensation associated to these. So are you saying agenda these or something else?
I'm saying these only. But
right. So these are actually tentative sketching, which you are actually inquiring to modify it anytime. So agenda is necessarily an obsession when we are very much keen to achieve it. That is what is the agenda that we are trying to explore.
So if I don't have a fixation for the agenda,
Yes.
then a loose planning is okay, you're saying? Or
it's not putting any load on me. So what am I saying? That's not the question here, but what am I experiencing out of it? When I have a strict agenda to reach there, you just experience the energy just by hearing this, that I have a strict agenda to achieve, and I have a free hand to achieve anywhere, and I have a loose planning. So energy, do you sense the difference in the energy? Do you understand the difference in the energy phenomenon? So that's how the agenda is a depleting factor. That way, when it becomes an obsession.
So more or less, the agenda can be more or less guiding, but not not fixed.
Yes, you are absolutely okay to fulfill it or change it or discard it. Then it's not an agenda. It's an emergence of pathways and exploration. It's a part of exploration rather. Isn't it?
I'm thinking if maybe I'm going to another extent. But if in the parliament something like this starts happening, wherein
think about the beauty of the overwhelming energy there in the parliament. If everybody becomes tentative and okay with it, the problem that we see in the parliament or anywhere, it's because of the obsession, because of the conclusiveness. If the beauty of tentativity is understood. So what basically you are proposing, Renuka, is inquiry. You may be using the term agenda or planning whatsoever, but when you are okay with that list of items that you are trying to do, and you are okay not doing it, you are okay doing it, or you are okay changing it somewhat and doing it somewhat, somewhat fulfilling it. This is a process of inquiry only. You have set some items and you are inquiring each item. If it is happening, it's fine. If it is not happening, then also you are inquiring further what it is happening. If it is not happening, then what it is going, where it is going. So it's a part of inquiry altogether. Do you see the exploration?
I might be constricting myself to a meeting or a, like, there's always this thing that final decision of the chair. So finally, if the chair, so there is always a thing that it is tentative. Nothing can be completely
Actually, the
fixed.
things are tentative. Yes. Actually, that's what you are saying, right? Actually, the things are always tentative.
Yeah, it's almost there, but there can never be full surety of only
Anything.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So do I understand it or not? The agenda, the obsession is an imagination of fixation, fixed point. There is no question of tentativity. When there is an obsession, then tentativity is rejected. A kind of certainty is sought after.
Yeah. Okay.
But in actual sense, there is no certainty at any juncture of life whatsoever. Now, finally, this agendalessness of inquiry proposes that observation is observation when there is no agenda. Now, what is the meaning of observation? Observation means trying to understand the most, trying to understand any phenomena to its maximum possibility. Now, when I have an agenda and my focus is captured with that agenda, how can I progress with my understanding? How can I progress with my observation? So an observation is observation where there is no agenda. If I say that I'm observing this to achieve this, I'm actually lying. I cannot observe anything to achieve something. I can just observe. I can just observe, then only my observation becomes holistic and I can actually absorb the most and understand optimally. So an observation is observation when there is no agenda in that process of observation. Let's rejoin with 5 minutes of silence and explore the next topic, suppression of inquiry.